Hey, good evening. Tonight I just want to address something that's been on my heart is to talk about the parables and get more into the Bible. I try not to make my page all about the Bible because I want people to see a genuine Christian and not just quoting scriptures and things, but just living the lifestyle. But I'm going to start doing a little bit more Bible sharing. So I am going to be talking about one of Jesus' parables. And if you don't know what a parable is a story that Jesus told to make a point. Usually the story had details that everyone in the room understood, even if he didn't say them specifically. So, having said all that, I want to talk about the parable of the prodigal son. So, in this story, the son he decides one day, he's like, Dad, I want my inheritance, and I want it now, so that I can go live my life and be free. So the father's like, okay. So he gives his son the inheritance, and the son takes off for the city. During this time in the city, he spends lavishly and has all these friends that basically come with the money, and he just parties around. He parties it up. He does whatever he wants. He just lives for the moment. And eventually, that lifestyle runs out, and he is forced to go and work for his uncle, where he doesn't eat lavishly. He doesn't live lavishly. He sleeps in a pig pen and eats what the pigs eat. So I don't know if you have an uncle like that. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, so this uncle, he decides that he's going to go back. And I'm paraphrasing a lot, but the story's good. If you can find it in the Bible, go for it. The parables are always good. So the son decides he's going to return to his father, and he doesn't want to be called his son anymore. He doesn't deserve to be called his son. He just wants to go and work for him. So he's trying to think of a way to return to his father with his hat in his hand as he's walking, and then all of a sudden, in the distance, his father sees him coming. And his father rushes to him. Doesn't walk, runs to him. Throws his coat over him and welcomes him home and says, "Let's have a feast. My son has returned." And there's an element of this where the older brother is there and wonders why there's a feast being thrown for a brother who gave up his inheritance and left the farm. And I have a different perspective on him, but I don't want to get into that. I want to talk about what this parable was getting at. Jesus was talking about all those that had left God's table and decided to be in the world. And they went out and they're living their lavish lives until they realize that their lives are meaningless without the blessing of the Father. And we're all, there's my son. We're all waiting for some prodigals to return. And we're praying them in. And that's what the father did. He didn't fight his son to stay. He prayed for his return, his safe return. And one day that came true. So the story of the prodigal isn't to judge a person by their past. It isn't to judge a person by their past. It's to welcome them back to the table. And I feel like this is a great thing to remember in times because, well, people go and we have so many people that live their lives and then they live their lives and then at the end of their life, sometimes even on their deathbed, people are saying, "God, forgive me and welcome me into your family." And some people go, "Well, I lived my whole life." And this is where the older brother comes in. "I lived my whole life serving you, Lord, and he just came back. Why is he being honored?" It's because he came back. Yes, you stayed, and there's honor in that, but the one who came back from a lifestyle that he could have went to hell. He could have had his whole life just in shambles, but he came back to the Father. hat in hand. But yes, he came back and he was blessed for that. So if you are a person that's struggling to come back to God because of hurts in your life, because of the lifestyle you think you lived and you're not worthy enough to be in the house of the Lord anymore, wipe those thoughts away, because he tells us in this story that he welcomes everyone back. We see this as an example on the cross when Jesus is sitting there and the two thieves on either side of him have different opinions. One is curse God and die, and the other one says leave him alone, and Jesus, remember me when you go to your kingdom. That lost soul gained heaven in that moment. It's never too late to turn away from your wicked ways and follow Christ. You're never too old. You're never too far gone. Jesus says in the Bible that he would leave the 99 sheep just to find the one lost sheep. And any shepherd would do that. They can't afford to lose that one sheep. That's how much he cares for you. He can't afford to lose you because he loves you that much. Let that sink in tonight.